Well, hey everybody, it's Sandy and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my kitchen. Yay, I'm in the kitchen again. So today I want to make guacamole, guys. I love guacamole. It is one of my favorite snacks and it can even be a substantial part of a meal. So if you typically get your guacamole in those containers in the deli section of the grocery store, guys, you will not believe how easy it is to make, nor will you believe the difference in the flavor. Fresh guacamole is so easy and so good, you'll never go back to those. Now, the primary ingredient is avocado. Avocados are profoundly anti-inflammatory, guys. Avocados are really good sources of monounsaturated fat. That's kind of unusual for produce, right? This is an excellent source of monounsaturated fat, which does tamp down inflammatory responses. It's also an excellent source of potassium, yes, better than bananas, magnesium, vitamin K, and a whole host of other things. Guys, I actually found an article in a scientific journal I will link in the description box, and it was a study that indicated that avocado can actually blunt the inflammatory effects of otherwise unhealthy foods. Now, guys, I am not recommending that you go feast on donuts, chase it with an avocado in order to reduce the inflammatory response, but it was a really interesting article in which people had conventional ground beef patties, so hamburgers, no bun. You know, not a particularly healthy choice for food, conventional ground beef. And half of the volunteers also had 2 ounces of avocado with their ground beef burger. And what they found is in that the people who had the avocado, there weren't the same post-meal inflammatory responses. Okay, they looked at blood levels of inflammatory markers, and they also looked at degrees of vasoconstriction, so constriction of the blood vessel that is temporary but common after ingestion of certain foods like conventional ground beef. So the 2 ounces of avocado blunted that in this study, and I just thought that was really speaks to what an anti-inflammatory powerhouse avocados are. Now, they also fit with every diet, right? Vegetarian, vegan, paleo, keto. I mean, so today we're going to combine our avocado with a few other simple, easy, fresh ingredients, and we're going to make some delicious guacamole. So I hope you'll stick around. So I've got all my ingredients lined up. So what I'm going to use today is probably 2 avocados. I've got 3 nice avocados here. And if I could just talk to you about how I choose them and when I decide that they're ready. So when you get them in the store, I usually get them while they're still green and they feel quite hard. So over time they will darken and get softer. Now once they feel like they've got, you know, a little bit of a give to them, or it feels like it's something nice and soft that I can push into, but I don't feel any real empty spots or cavities that would indicate it's just too overripe. I try to choose them with that little stem piece still in. So this one doesn't have it. It's kind of more of a hole in there. It's indented, whereas this one you can see it's out. I've been told that that helps it ripen a little more slowly. I don't know if that's true or not. Once it gets really dark, you'll find that when you cut it open, it's kind of dark and bruised inside and a little bit unappetizing. So it shouldn't feel like there are really empty spots. But this one, these two both feel like they're about ready to go. They're dark, they're soft, but I don't feel anything that's really hollow on the inside. I'm also going to use a little red onion. You could use whatever kind of onion you want. I think the red is a little sweeter, and I tend to use red onion in raw things like salads. I'm going to use the juice of 1 lime. I'm probably going to use 1 large or 2 small garlic cloves. I get these already peeled garlic cloves because it's just such a nice convenient option. I use some sea salt, but you're going to need salt and black pepper to your taste. And then some kind of an oil, preferably an extra virgin oil. Now, sometimes I like to put some fresh cilantro into guacamole. You can use fresh herbs to your liking. Today, I'm not going to be doing any of that because this is just going to be a real simple guacamole. And then just a couple of optional things that you might want to add to your taste. I've got some white vinegar, or in my family, we like to use pickled jalapeno peppers. Now, guys, these are not hot or spicy. The pickling makes them sour. It's a little bit of a vinegar tang to it. So I might show you how I do that. Okay, so I've got my 2 avocados, I've got my 2 garlic cloves, my red onion, I have juiced my lime, I got my salt and pepper over there. So you're going to need a bowl. I get a kind of a medium-sized spoon. I'm going to show you how to scoop out the avocado, and then a pretty sturdy fork so that you can mash the avocado. So what I find works best is I just make a cut all the way around the avocado. There's a big pit on the inside. When it looks nice and green like that on the inside, there's a darker green border and a nice light green yellow on the inside. I don't see really any brown spots. This avocado looks great. If you want to get the pit out, usually the best thing to do is just hit it pretty hard with the knife and twist a little bit, and that pit will come right out. And you can take it off of your knife and discard it. And then from there, make sure you can see this, I'm just going to scoop out the avocado. It should feel nice and soft, not liquidy, not runny. That all goes into our bowl. I sometimes make guacamole with black beans, maybe some rice, maybe not, and serve the guacamole on top, maybe with some salsa. And then here I'm just going to start mashing the avocado. I'm going to show you. Now, some people like the guacamole really smooth. I personally like it a little bit chunky, and this has the added benefit of, like, I don't have to get out a blender or any kind of appliances that then have to be cleaned up. This is really simple, and I just do it in 5 minutes. I'm going to chop up the garlic clove. Into the guac. Just to show you, I just take off the top and the bottom, and I peel away the outer skin, so I've got a nice clean break. And what I'm going to do is probably use about 1/4 of this onion. So and we like the onions pretty finely chopped. Into the bowl that goes. And we're going to add our sea salt, our black pepper, our lime juice. And for my oil, I'm going to use just a little bit of olive oil. We just like the flavor of olive oil. I'm probably using about 1 tablespoon of that. At this point, you can taste it for seasoning and see if you want a little more salt, but be careful with that because the flavors come together as it sits in the refrigerator for an hour or two. So you might find that if it tastes a little bit bland right now and you taste it in an hour or so after it's been in the fridge, that it's actually satisfactory. So I don't go too crazy with the salt. I do like some. Okay, and I'm just going to show you our special treat in our guacamole is just a few of these pickled jalapeno peppers. I know you'd think they're going to be hot, but they're not. They add a sour tang. And I like to add them. I add just 3 of these little slices. And chop these up. You're going to see the seeds of those peppers, and that's fine. You just leave them in. They're really not hot, guys. For anybody who likes tangy, pickly flavors, you'll like this. And that's it. Okay, so I've got my freshly made guacamole. Yum. Left to my own devices, I could probably eat this whole thing. I'm just going to put this into a smaller. So what some people don't like about working with guacamole and avocados in general is that once they're cut open or once the guacamole is made, it does tend to get brown on top, the area that's exposed. That's because of oxidation. It is safe to just take that off and then eat the rest, but that's, of course, unappetizing. So there's all these different tricks you read. I just find that the best you can keep the air away from the surface, the better off it's going to be. But I don't like to make guacamole more than a day in advance. In fact, usually I really prefer to make it the day that we're going to eat it. So I'm going to take some plastic wrap. And what I'm going to do is instead of, let me see if you can see that, instead of just stretching it over the bowl, I'm going to push it down so that it is on covering the guacamole and eliminating the air gap between the guacamole and the top of the dish. And then I'll tuck it in. So you can see I've got like a little border here of saran wrap. Okay, and then I'll just put that in the fridge. Well, all right, here's our fresh guacamole, and it's about lunchtime over here. I hope you guys see how easy this was. It's like literally 5 minutes. It's maybe 15 if you're trying to do it on camera. But it's about no special equipment needed, no appliances to clean up, just real simple, fresh, delicious, anti-inflammatory guacamole. If any of you guys have your own secrets for guacamole that you'd like to share, I hope you'll put it in the comment box. And I hope you'll enjoy this. Let me know if you try it. And until next time, be well.